This is the MSI Vortex G25. This specific model is the 8RE, and this is the 8th generation Intel CPU, so this is an 8700. You also have a GTX 1070, the full desktop chip, slightly underclocked from a standard, desktop graphics card, but still pretty impressive nonetheless. 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM, a 256 gig SSD, and a 1TB hard drive, and a few other bits and pieces, including Windows 10 pre-installed, obviously Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and a pretty decent helping of I/O to go with it, and a really small form factor. Let's take a look. Now, as I said, this is a really impressive desktop gaming PC. You're looking at an 8700 and a GTX 1070, all in this ridiculously small form factor. You have a desktop that is basically 1 to 1.5 inches thick, and overall is about the same size as an A4 piece of paper, give or take, a little bit wider, but still impressive for its size. You can lie it down on its side or use the included stand to leave it as a vertical mount PC, and if you do leave it as a vertical mount, you're probably going to get a little bit better temperatures, as on the rear side you do have a 4-port VESA mount, or 4-pin VESA mount if you want to attach this to the back of a monitor, and you do have all of the ventilation, including the geofan setup. Now, while we're looking at the back, I do want to mention that they do include 4 sort of kind of easy to remove thumb screw kind of things on the back for you to remove the rear panel. This seems like a nice gesture of them easily allowing you to upgrade the system if you fancy in the future, but don't let that fool you too much, as soon as you take that cover off, you'll notice that nothing is really accessible. Even the RAM DIMMs are under the sort of VESA mounting plate, and that is protected by a warranty void sticker, so if you do want to upgrade any of the parts in this, you will have to break the factory seal sticker, which means that obviously they'll sort of know you're inside the PC at some point, which is a little bit of a shame. You also can't really update the hard drive or SSD at all, as these are on the back side, and you have to remove the entire motherboard and cooling solution if you want to get at those. Taking a look around the device, obviously you have the rear I/O, which is a USB Type-C / Thunderbolt 3 port, a Kensington lock, 2 USB 3.0 ports, Gigabit Ethernet, HDMI, SPDIF, and your DC in from the massive, and I really do mean massive, power brick. This power brick is quite literally like the size of my face kind of thing. Like, it's huge. It's incredibly heavy as well. I think it's a 300 watts total unit, so it's pretty beefy, pretty impressive, and obviously, as I said, just plugs in with that 4-pin connector. On the front of the device, you actually have the Easy VR connector, so that includes the DC out for the headset, as well as an HDMI port, 2 USB 3.0 ports, as well as a Type-C port, and headphone and microphone jacks. That and the power button just above that are basically the only I/O that are included in this system, so don't expect to be plugging in too many USB devices, or really anything for that matter. Obviously, you do have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in, which is quite nice, but you still do get that Gigabit Ethernet, and you do have a Thunderbolt port in the back if you want to add any USB hubs, but you're probably going to want to do that if you want to add any more than 4 USB devices. Moving on to the gaming performance, let's take a look and see how it performs. Starting off as usual with 3D Mark Firestrike, you're looking at just shy of 14,500 points at 1080p, just shy of 7,500 at 1440p, and just shy of 4,000 at 4K. Dirt Rally is an impressive 130 FPS, 98 and 54 for 1080p, 1440p and 4K respectively at ultra settings, so an impressive score, and on GTA 5 on very high settings you're looking at 175, 130 and 62 respectively. This is really impressive, actually kind of matches up, in fact sometimes even beats a Vega 56 system that I reviewed recently, so again very impressive. And on the more reliable results of Unity in Heaven, you're looking at 139, 99 and 35 FPS, all of which are really impressive. So as you'd expect, on an 8700 and a GTX 1070, it is an impressive gaming machine. Also, with that A700 being a 6-core, you'll actually probably get a pretty decent editing, streaming experience from this sort of PC as well, so that's actually pretty cool. In terms of the temperatures and that sort of stuff and general noise level, it was actually impressively quiet for what I was expecting, and in terms of temperatures, the CPU maxed out about 72 degrees Celsius, with the GPU actually maxing out at about 68 degrees Celsius, so actually really impressive temperatures, especially for a relatively embedded solution. Now, of course, the main downside for this system and its form factor is the pricing. This comes at a fairly high price premium compared to a desktop, like a full-size desktop system that you would have with this sort of spec, including the fact that you would also have a little bit better performance from the desktop versions of these parts, but nonetheless, I think the form factor kind of gives it a reason to be a little bit more expensive, but at this sort of price point, it's kind of up to you. Moving on to the scoring for me, this is going to be a 3.55 money. When it comes to performance, it has to be a 5, and in terms of functionality, I'm going to go with a 4.5 as well. When it comes to the styling, I think it looks really nice, and I'm going to go with a 4.5, and in terms of TechteamGB score, I'm going to go with a 4.5 and a gold award. It's an impressive machine. It's a shame that the price is so high for this one, but when it comes to the performance, the form factor, the functionality, besides the lack of I/O, or at least lack of lots of I/O, and overall, I suppose, lack of upgradability as well, it's a really nice system. But enough from me. I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. Is this sort of system something you'd look to pick up, or is the price premium on this sort of form factor just too high for you? Let me know down there too. If you want to know any more about the system or take a look at the price where you watch this, take a look at the link in the description down below. If you want to support me in making these videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, then feel free to take a look at the Amazon and Overclock UK affiliate links, as well as the Patreon link where you can directly support me and get sort of individual rewards and stuff like that for helping out. Otherwise, that is pretty much it. There are some other videos over here for you. If you're new to the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button and let me know what you thought of the video in the comments down below. And otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one.